Comments by Angela Madden. Now, she is head of the Women Against State Pension Inequality, the WASPI Women. Angela, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
Before, can you explain what WASPI Women is about?
I can. Good morning. WASPI stands for Women Against State Pension Inequality. We were women born in the 1950s who had our state pension age increased with little or no notice. So many of us had less than 2 years' notice of a 6-year rise to our state pension age, giving us no time to plan. We have no problem with equalisation. This is about poor implementation and communication of the law.
And when was that decision taken?
The decision was taken in 1995 initially to equalise the state pension age between men and women. Then further decisions were taken in 2007 and even further decisions were taken in 2011. The equalisation was supposed to take effect by 2020. Instead, it took effect by 2018, and both the state pension age increased for men and women to 66 by 2020. So WASPI women actually had their state pension age increased twice without notice. And it was only after the 2011 Act that people were informed.
How much do you think has it cost the average WASPI woman?
The average WASPI women will have expected a state pension of maybe £8,000 to £10,000 a year. So on average, they have lost £40,000.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And of course, we had planned to retire at 60. Many of us actually took early retirement before we knew of the changes. And so we also lost out on wages and extra payments we could have made into our pension scheme had we known our state pension age was 66.
Now, you've got a very dramatic map here.
We have.
With flags up and down the country. Now, what do these flags denote?
Each one of these larger flags represents an MP who has attended conference, come along and shown their support for us. The red dots are, at this conference, the Labour conference, so they're Labour MPs, and the yellow dots are Liberal Democrat MPs from their conference.
I'd guesstimate there's around up to 200 flags there. We've got 650 MPs.
Yeah.
But the people you need to persuade are Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor. Now, she's taking away the winter fuel allowance from people like you.
She is.
Which will save 1.3 billion.
Yes.
If you had your way for WASPI women, that would probably cost around 10 billion?
Yes, yes. If they implemented the current recommendations from the Ombudsman, that would cost about 10 billion, because there are 3.6 million WASPI women.
As many as that.
And this is the issue for the government.
And successive governments,
of
it, whatever political persuasion, have not done the right thing.
They've not done the right thing, yes. And the time to do the right thing is now. The successive governments have saved 181 billion by removing our pension without notice. We are asking for a fraction of that back.
How have you managed to use? We've got the Work and Pensions Secretary Liz Kendall is speaking to this conference this morning, one of the final speeches. Are they receptive to your campaign?
We have had a meeting with Emma Reynolds on the 7th of September.
She's the Pensions Minister.
She's the Pensions Minister. Very cordial meeting, and she definitely listened to us. We're hoping it's the first meeting of many. Emma's only been in the job 2 months. Our campaign's been going for over 10 years, so we are impatient, but we are willing to give them some time to help sort it out.
And of course, Angela, some of the supporters of WASPI women, they will die before this is sorted out.
They will, yes.
By definition, because they're older members of the community.
Yes. We've already lost 293,000 women since we started this campaign, and it's estimated that one woman is dying every 13 minutes. So by the time we finish this interview, another WASPI woman may have died.
And even if you were to win, that money wouldn't be restored to their families?
No, it wouldn't.
It's with the pensioner, that's it?
Yes. Because it's compensation, so until it's decided upon to award it, it's not owed to the person.
I understand.
Yeah.
Does it feel, in a sense, like women pensioners were mugged? Does it feel like that?
It can feel like that, yes. We often wonder if it was men, would this have happened? men were actually given the same notice as we were for a 1-year increase to their state pension age. We got the same notice for a 6-year increase.
Right.
So even in the implementation of the law, men have been treated more favourably than women.
You've become an accomplished campaigner, Angela. What is your background?
I worked in business.
Right.
I worked mainly with IT systems.
Right.
Mainly in businesses that were using IT to change their business.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Did you ever imagine that you'd become part of such an enormous national campaign?
No, I didn't imagine it at all.
Because you're a grandma, I presume?
Well, I'm not a grandma, but I'm certainly a great auntie.
Great auntie,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
And do your family supporting what you're doing?
They definitely do, yes. There are many, many young people who support what we're doing. We find there is no generational divide on this. I mean, we worked and contributed to the scheme for over 40 years, and we expected to get what we were told out of it, and we didn't.
Right.
It's not a benefit. We feel it's actually a right.
Right.
Yeah.
And how optimistic that this could be resolved by this government? They've got a big majority.
They've got a big majority, and they've got big work to do, and we are part of that big work. They are the government who say social justice, integrity, honesty are at the heart of everything they do. So I'm sure they will seriously consider the Ombudsman's report and implement the recommendations and do what they know should be done for WASPI women.
Right.
Or else they can't claim to have those values.
Well, that's very interesting. That's Angela Madden. She is from the WASPI Women. As you see this map, I'd say there's at least 200 MPs there. There's a Tory conference next week, but there's no leader, so you've got no one to lobby.
No, not at the moment. We are speaking to Conservative MPs individually, and many of them support us. So I think after this, what we might do is make this much virtual,
right,
and allow MPs we haven't seen at conferences to stick their flags in as well.
Very good. That's Angela Madden. She is the chair of Women Against State Pension